Greetings folks, my name is Ronwise Gamgee and welcome to Quick and Dirty Roleplaying. This video is going to be largely unscripted because it's just, I got bullet points and this is something that when I received and looked over, I really got the urge to talk about it. So what am I talking about? I just received the PDF for Project Black Flag by Kobold Press. It's playtest packet 1, and just like skimming through it because of this whole thing with the OGL debacle with Wizards of the Coast and them finally caving in and not updating, or rather them leaving the OGL 1.0 alpha as is and bringing the 5th edition rules to as part of like Creative Commons. That leaves it so that anybody can just like it allows for more use of the 5th edition rules than the OGL did for the 3rd edition rules of D&D, or at least that's my impression of it. So I skimmed through this packet, and because Kobold Press was the first of these third-party publishers who were making a big hoorah about that they were going to make their own game rather than like capitulate to the OGL version 1.1, and then other companies were like doing the same. And let's talk about the Orc license, how it's going to be like genre neutral, or how it's going to be like system neutral for RPGs, and like these other companies that are going to be making their own games. So this is basically what I want to talk about. It's we're going to make our own game. We're going to make a new game that's 5th edition compatible. And so, is it really a new game? That's, or is it just a rebrand? So yeah, I'm just gonna go over the bullet points that I listed here. So so far, from what I'm seeing here of Project Black Flag, it looks more like a rebrand of D&D, but like a homebrew of it. Now, does that really make it a new game? Technically, there's the plausible deniability of it, so the answer is yes. But like when you really go with, like, for those, I guess, like in the know, not really. Like it just seems like a different coat of paint over the same old thing, except another company is selling it to you. They're basically selling you like pretty much the same rule set of a game that you probably already have. So it's kind of like, oh, out with the old boss, in with the new sort of thing. And this was something that Paizo did with Pathfinder when like when 4th edition came out, and how people didn't like the rules, how they wanted something that was more like D&D 3rd edition or 3.5, and 4th edition was not under OGL, and so the people at Paizo Publishing, they saw this as an opportunity, and they're like, let's give the people what they want, and they basically made D&D 3.75. They got like a lot of what they could from D&D 3.5, and they're like, okay, we'd like to modify like this class like this and that one like that, just make them even more special than they already were in D&D 3.5. And the direction in which Project Black Flag seems to be heading, from what I'm seeing on this playtest packet, is no different. except this is, rather than doing it with D&D 3.5, they're doing it with D&D 5th edition. And why are they doing it? This is like a marketing and business like min-maxing. You know, take what's already out there that there's like a strong consumer base for. You know, make like little changes here and there, call it different. You know, like repackage it, sell it to the public, and then rake in the profits. Business-wise, financial-wise, that makes sense. But calling this a new game, it's a lie. It is a freaking lie. Okay, there's enough plausible deniability for them to say, oh no, it's you know, this is not D&D. You know, it's different. And they even say 5e compatible. I personally, I don't care about 5e compatibility. Like when you're talking about like making a new game, with what Paizo did ultimately with Pathfinder 2nd edition, they made it different enough, or the 2nd edition of Pathfinder was different enough from its, not simply its predecessor, but from like the parent, so to speak, like, or the OG, where it's not compatible with it. And even though it still carries a lot of the same trappings, the rules are different enough, the procedures are different enough so that it's not backwards compatible. It is its own game. Like this is finally like, oh, Pathfinder, like its actual role-playing game, and not Pathfinder, the D&D 3.5 homebrew. So what we're seeing here is Project Black Flag, the D&D 5th edition homebrew. This is what you're getting, folks. You are going to be sold a homebrew of D&D 5th edition. I made a video prior called From D&D Consumer to RPG Creative. This is going to appeal to the D&D consumers, the ones that are going to be like, oh, more D&D, okay, more D&D, here you go, more D&D, you know? And this is the only way that the hobby or that my game will expand. I need others to feed it to me, not me coming up with my own shit, because it takes time. Yeah, this is something that I get emotional about, or that I have an emotional. Yeah, I get emotional about this. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth regarding the tabletop RPG hobby. This is not tabletop RPG diversity. It can get there. The OSR has definitely demonstrated that, as it is taking enough from like original, like 0th and 1st edition and 2nd edition D&D, and then put its own spin on it. But then again, those games often get lambasted by certain members of the OSR community of, oh, not being actual OSR, or that's new OSR. It's like, they're doing something substantially different. They're putting more creativity into it than just rehashing the same old crap. So, you know, if that's your beef, then, you know, fuck you for shitting on people who are really like being creative with like original works here. Let me see what else. So I think in that rant, I think I have hit pretty much all of my bullet points here. Yeah, I don't really even see the point of, oh, if you actually want to make a new game, do this, because they're doing this to make money. You know, They're not doing this to actually to bring substantive diversity to the tabletop RPG hobby, because they are selling to D&D consumers who are moralistic enough to, or who think they're moralistic enough to say, I'm never buying a Wizards of the Coast D&D product again because blah blah blah. It's like, these people are doing, they're doing the same shit. Okay, they're just capitalizing on this situation where Wizards let you down. Paizo did it with Pathfinder back during like the transition, the 4th edition era. Black Flag and other companies who are making their own game but is 5th edition compatible, they're going to do the same thing to you, right? They're going to attempt to influence you to spend the money on the same old shit but with a different coat of paint. All right? From what I'm seeing right now, Project Black Flag is to D&D what RC Cola is to Coca-Cola. And that's all I gotta say about that. Take care, folks, and play to find out what happens.